This is called Do You See What I See? Do you see what I see?
What I see.
Okay. Paano ba mag-present? Okay. Do you see what I see? Okay, if kung alam nyo na to, wag muna kayo magsalita ha. Let's listen to the instructions first. Okay, I want you to answer, ano yung una nyong nakikita dito? Una. Okay, do you see a young lady or an old lady?
Young lady.
Do you see a young lady or an old lady? By a show of
the young lady.
Okay. By show
Young
of
lady.
hands, sino ang nakita ang young lady?
Young and old.
Lang choice.
Young lady una? Almost everyone? Sige, yung old lady. Sino yung unang nakitang old lady? Konti lang. Who can see both?
Charlie.
Who can see both?
I see both.
Kaya nga yung choice dapat tinatanong ko kung ilang choice.
Pero syempre meron kasing una eh. So,
Unang makikita.
unang makikita.
Akin, both talaga.
Una.
Both.
Una. Okay. Who can only see one? Hindi nyo talaga makita yung old lady or yung young lady. Taas kamay. Ma'am Dalugdog. Who else? Ma'am Grace. Sino pa? Ma'am Barile? Okay. Ma'am Dalugdog, ano po yung nakita nyo?
Wansu. Miso.
Yung babae na
Young or old?
Yung young.
Young lady ang nakita nyo. Hindi niya talaga makita yung old
Hindi
lady.
talaga. I was trying to see. Tinignan ko na nga na ibang angle. Sabi ko, hindi
Sige.
ko makita
Grace,
nasa yung
ano yung nakita mo?
Ma'am, kasi I look at yung both picture, pero nakikita ko sa kanila, kanilang dalawa, both young ladies. So,
Okay,
dalawang,
young lady. Hindi mo talaga makita yung old din.
hindi, parang vintage lang siya, pero in that picture, they're both young. Parang
Okay.
ganon.
Sige. Sir Ariel, isa lang po ba nakita nyo?
Yes, ma'am, isa lang. Young
Ano
lady
po?
lang.
Young lady.
Parang
Sino yung isa lang makita? Sino pa? Ma'am Barile, ano po yung nakita nyo? Young or old?
Young lady, ma'am.
Young lady lang din. Okay, anyone else? Na isa lang po ang nakita? Ma'am Eunice?
Young
Ano?
lang din po.
Young lang din. Anyone else? Wala na. Okay. Sige. Next. Sorry. Hindi ko na i-present ha. Kita niyo naman
Hanggang
siya.
ngayon, hindi ko pa nga rin makita nasan yung old lady.
Okay, yung old lady po, for the sake, kasi halos lahat kayo yung young lang makita. The old lady, ito po yung mata niya. Ito yung mata, ito po yung ilong niya, ito yung bibig niya.
Makita.
So same here, ito po yung mata, ito po yung ilong, tapos ito po yung mouth and chin. Mukha siyang witch.
Itong black and white, oo, medyo nakita
Mukha
ko
siyang
na.
witch.
Kita ko na.
The other one, itong
Mukha siyang pato.
black and white. Okay. Oo.
Yes,
Okay.
yun ko lang nakita. Parehong old lady.
Okay, next. What color do you see? Gold and white or blue and black?
gold and white.
Gold and white or blue
Ako,
and
gold
black?
and blue.
Gold and white?
Who sees blue
Gold
and black?
blue.
Meron po bang...
Question yan dati sa internet.
Meron.
Is it page?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tama ba? 6 yata ang bilang ko. You see
Hindi ko
blue
nakita
and
yung
black.
picture.
Gold and white.
Oh, gold and blue.
Okay, gold and blue.
Golden blue.
Okay.
golden blue.
So nasa minority yung blue and black.
Golden blue.
Yung mga nagsabi na blue and black, nakikita nyo rin ba yung gold and white?
Oh,
Golden
sa
and white.
gilid. Meron doon sa gilid.
Pero mas
prominent si blue and black.
Ma'am Erica, blue and black, hindi mo talaga makita yung gold and white.
I see golden
Blue
white.
and black.
Okay. Sino
Gold
pa?
and white ang nakikita ko.
Iba-iba, ah.
Gold and white.
Okay, sige. Okay, interesting. Okay, next.
gold and blue.
What color is the shoe? What color do you see?
Pink and white.
Ito na
Pink
naman
and
tayo.
white.
Green and gray.
Pink and
Pink
wow.
and
Pink
white.
and gray.
Pink and white.
And white.
I see
Green
gray
and
and
gray.
Blue. Ano?
Green
And
Ito may gray.
mint green and parang light na gray.
Ako,
I see
question
pink.
ko talaga yung mata ko.
Pink.
Pink and
Yan,
white.
hindi
Oh,
tinted
man.
yan. Tinted, hindi yan. Original.
Okay.
Clear.
Ito yung medyo madaming hati Okay, do you see gray and mint green or
Yes.
pink
Yes.
and white?
Yes.
Who sees
Yes,
pink and
yes.
white? Pink and white.
I can also
1,
see
2,
it.
3,
Pink and white.
4, 5,
Pink
6,
and
7,
white.
8,
Tinted.
9,
Hindi siya clear.
10. Okay. Who sees the gray and mint green?
2.
Grabe, almost 50-50. Who can see both colors? Ay, meron. Ay, nag-iisa talaga si April.
Gifted child talaga to si Ma'am April eh.
Yun sabi ko sa'yo, pusa yan.
Kitang dalawa.
Pusa yan talaga, sabi
Ate?
sa'yo. Yan ang ate ni Mama Kat Ay, ni Baby Kat Okay. Si April lang po, no, nakakita ng both. Okay.
Namya daw din.
Ay, Ma'am Yadaw.
Third eye.
Ma'am Erica, kita mo rin pareho?
Ma'am, yung sa akin po kasi sa unang tingin, yung gray and mint green. Tapos habang tumatagal, nagiging pink and white.
Okay, interesting.
Subukan niya, paulit. Baka maging ganun din.
Oo.
Actually, for the other people I asked this,
yun
nung
pa rin
una, sabi, gray and mint green. Tapos nung pinakita ko, hey, bakit naging pink and white? Ganun sila. Okay, ito yung, for those of you who do not, cannot
pink
tell,
yan. Punta ka doon. Pink siya.
ito siya.
Baka
Ito
depende
yung
sa angulo.
nakikita ng ibang
Ayan ang
tao.
pink
Oh. Sa angulo. Yan, magkaiba kulay.
Magkaiba na.
Kanina, itong nasa right, gray and ano pa rin, pink, gray and green. Yung nasa left, ang pink and white.
Lipat ko ng ibang screen.
Okay, next.
Ma'am, may pakibalik nga doon sa una. Baka sa screen lang. Hindi, pares talaga eh.
Nice po yan.
gray
Okay.
and
Diba?
mint green.
mint green. Pink and mint green.
Okay.
Depende sa...
Ano po nakikita nyo dito?
Ano ba to, crow?
Do you see a bird? It's a
Pusa.
cat.
Yes, bird.
It's a cat.
Oh, naging cat.
Pero I saw a bird.
There, rabbit.
I saw a bird.
Wala namang buntot na ganyan na bird.
Rabbit.
Pusa. Yung
It's a cat.
mata.
Yung
nakaganon.
buntot, hindi
Pag
ganyan.
tinititiga, nagiging cat.
Okay.
Tenga yung parang big.
Sa
At
mata
first look ba, Ma'am May?
Yeah, first
Parang
look.
it looks like may beak.
At first,
Tenga
it
po
looks
yan.
like a...
Tenga.
Oh yeah, it's a cat.
But
Yeah, yung
when
buntot
somebody... Yeah.
It's a cat.
At first look lang, bird. Parang
Yung
Yeah,
kaliwa
first
na?
look bird.
Okay, last, what do you see? Or actually, not what do you see? Pero sa drawing na to, you might have seen this before. Alin dito ang mas malaki yung gitnang bilog? This one or this one? Left or right? Which one is larger?
Right.
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 Ito.
The
Mas
same.
malaki to.
Sukatin ko.
Mas malaki. Ma'am Pereira
Mas malaking
says
right.
most say this one is bigger.
Ishunea.
Parehas.
Same.
Okay.
Right.
Same sa akin.
Okay.
yung right.
No cut. No cut ko eh. Same.
Tumama ako sa right.
Talaga ni Eunice. Wala
I love you,
Ito talaga, naana ko dito. Ito pala yung mata.
Okay. Sige, listen na po. Okay, for all of these, we saw different things. Okay? Most of us saw the young lady here, pero some saw the old lady, di ba?
Yeah, there's an old lady.
Okay. So, and yung iba, hindi talaga nakita yung old lady until na-point out na ito pala yung mata, ito yung ilong, ito yung bibig, ito yung baba. Okay. So the title of this drawing, it was actually a postcard noong 1888 pa. And it by a German. And yung title ng painting was My Wife and My Mother-in-Law. Sama niya, di ba? So, ano yan? Yung wife daw niya yan at mother-in-law. So, in one. And this is what you call an ambiguous image. It can be seen as two different things depending on how you look at it. So after a while, they gave this a new name. They called it the boring figure. Bakit boring? Hindi dahil boring siya, pero kasi merong psychologist, ang pangalan niya, Edwin Boring, and he did a study on this drawing in 1930. And it was about illusions and human perception. Tapos recently, merong linabas ulit na research by 3 Australian researchers amongst 393 participants. And yung findings ng study nila was, the younger the viewer, the more likely they were able to notice the young woman. So congratulations kung young woman yung nakita niyo. You are more likely young-minded. Tapos, specifically sa study na yon, yung youngest 10% daw saw the younger women, and the older 10% saw the old lady. Ano po? May tanong po ba? Okay. So yun. So yung conclusion po ng research study nila was that age biases affect the initial interpretation of an image at a subconscious level. Isa pa. Age biases affect the initial interpretation of an image at a subconscious level. So yung age daw ng tao nakaka-affect subconsciously sa nakikita niya. Okay? Now next, yung dress naman. So this was a viral debate sa internet. And the reason why we see two different things is because it has to do with how the brain perceives color in daylight. Okay? Merong tao si Conway, pangalan niya. He made a study amongst 1,401 participants, and he found that 57% said that the dress is blue and black. So if you are like me, sasabihin mo, paano naging blue and black yan? Hindi ko talaga makita yung blue and black. Kahit anong gawin ko. Medyo yung gold and blue nakikita ko pa, pero hindi ko talaga makita yung blue and black. Pero based on his study, 57% said they saw blue and black, 30% saw white and gold, 11% saw blue and brown, and 2% saw something else. None of the above. And interestingly, yung perception of colors flipped after retesting. So nung nag-test ulit, iba naman yung nakita nila. Okay? Sabi nila, this is probably because of the assumptions, again, assumption lang, assumptions the brain makes about the lighting in the picture. So yung brain mo nagpa-process agad. Nag-a-assume kung anong oras yan, madilim ba, and that's how you get the color that you see. So yung mga white gold ang nakita, if you saw white gold, you're assuming that this is lit by daylight. So your brain ignores the shorter, bluer wavelengths. And interestingly, older people and women are more likely to see this as gold and white because you're more active during the day. Okay? Pero,
More active during the day, ma'am?
Oo. Kaya parang na-process mo siya as in daylight kasi yun yung oras na gising ka. Now, yung people who see blue-black assume a warm artificial light, so your brains ignore longer, redder wavelengths. And kung biology major ka, maintindihan mo yung mga pinagsasabi ko. Ako hindi. Okay. Younger people and men, hindi ko mabasa notes ko. Oh, yan. This was chosen by more of the younger people and men because they spend more time around artificial light sources like gadgets, computers. So yung mga bagets at yung mga lalaki, mas blue and black yung nakikita nila. Yung blue-brown assume neutral lighting. So yun yung findings ng study. Ito naman yung shoe. It's kind of the same. Ako talaga, hindi ko talaga makita yung pink and white. If you can see both, good job ka. Pero when I saw this initially, nandyan pa yung team office, alam nila to, tinanong ko agad sa kanila and hati rin kami. And then I posted a poll on my Facebook and Instagram. Nag 50-50 din yung results. 50% sa mint green and gray and 50% sa pink and white. And nakaka-fascinate lang na how can two people look at the exact same thing and see two different completely things. Pero this one is also based on the color. So if your brain is processing ulit na daylight pa, but if you can see yung kamay, you can see na madilim. So this was taken with a flash in a dark place. Kaya ang totoong sagot ay pink and white talaga yung shoe na yan. Just for your information. Okay, but again, it's how your brain processes yung external factors. Okay, and then this one naman po, what do you see? Most people see a bird initially or a crow daw. Pero cat po talaga yan na nakatingala at tago po yung isang mata niya dito. Ito po yung isang tenga niya, nandito po yung kabila. But it is a cat looking up. And the point of this picture naman is it also depends on perspective. Okay? Pusa talaga yan, kahit anong gawin natin, hindi talaga yan ibon. But what we see immediately, we think it's a bird. And pwede natin ipagpilitan ng sarili natin na hindi ibon yan. Pero ang totoo po, pusa po yan. We are just in a different position. Ito naman po yung circles. Ang tamang sagot po ay these are the same size. They are the same size. But when we look at, wait lang, try ko i-crop. When we look here, because it's surrounded by big circles, ang nakikita po natin smaller to. Ito naman po, when we look at this circle, because it's surrounded by smaller circles, we perceive it to be bigger. Pero ang totoo lang po, sa totoo lang, these are exactly the same size kapag pinagpatong po sila. Okay, so what is the whole point of all of these pictures that I showed you? The whole point is that iba-iba po talaga tayo. We all perceive information differently. We all have our own opinions. Buti nga sa poll nyo sa group chat ay medyo majority po talaga yung isang option, so hindi kayo nahirapan. But the thing is, we all have different opinions. We will always have different opinions. And it doesn't mean na mas tama ka or mas tama ako. It just means we have different opinions. And a lot of times, we tend to think na hindi, mali ka, mali talaga. Ito talaga, pink and white talaga yan eh. Pink and white talaga. Or mint green and gray talaga to. And you can do all you want. Pwede kayong lumuha ng dugo, pero hindi magbabago yung opinion ng ibang tao sa color ng shoe. In the same way, we will have differing opinions. Kayo sa magka-team, you probably have more conflict or experience more conflict than other people that are not on your team. Conflict, I think, will be inevitable. And we all have different opinions. But I just want to remind you that our opinions are based on certain biases that we have. It could be based on our age. It could be based on our personality. It could be based on our perspective. We might be in a different position than the other person. Diba? Kaya may tinatawag din na blind spots ang mga tao, diba? Ikaw hindi mo talaga makita, pero kita ng iba na blind spot mo yan. Okay, it could be so many different factors that will affect your own personal opinion. But let us remember this coming school year, if ever we are in conflict with each other or with a parent or with a student, we have to understand each other because we have different set of biases that we are working with. We have different set of opinions, and everyone can be right and just see things differently. So let's learn to understand. Let's learn to just accept that they see a different color, that they have a different perspective. Okay, that doesn't mean that one person is wrong. It just means you guys are different. So I hope and I pray that if ever you encounter conflict this coming school year, that you will remember these pictures, that you will remember that you guys can agree to disagree and still live and work harmoniously with each other. Okay? So that is just a friendly reminder from me